The Honorable Council of the City of Evansville is hereby called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Trockman?
Here.
Councilwoman Mosby?
No.
Here. Councilman Burton?
Here.
Councilwoman Kaler-Lindsay?
Here.
Councilman Brinkmeyer?
Here.
Councilman Bean?
Here.
Councilwoman Moore?
Here.
Councilman Weaver?
Here.
Councilman Hieronymus?
Here, there being nine members present, 0 members absent, and 9 members representing a quorum, I hereby declare this session of the Common Council officially open. This evening, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by City Clerk Windhorst.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join us now in a moment of silence. Fellow councilmen and those in the audience, welcome to the May 8th, 2023 meeting of the Common Council. This evening, Josh Claiborne is the City Council Attorney. Is there a motion to approve the meeting memorandum of the April 24th, 2023 meeting of the Common Council as written?
So moved. Second.
Okay, having a first from Councilman Bean and a second from Councilman Burton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So ordered.
Reports and communications. Emailed material ordinances F 2023-07, R 2023-14, R 2023-15, and R 2023-16. Resolutions C 2023-06, 7, 8, and 9. ERC minutes from April 18th, 2023. On your desk this evening, extended agenda.
Is there a motion to acknowledge the reports and communications?
So moved. Second.
All right, having a first from Councilman Weaver and a second from Councilwoman Mosby, is that correct? All righty, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So ordered.
Special orders of the day. There are no special orders this evening. Consent agenda, first reading of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance F 2023-07, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Evansville, authorizing transfers of appropriations, additional appropriations, and repeal and reappropriation of funds for various city funds. Ordinance R 2023-14, an ordinance to rezone certain real estate in the City of Evansville, State of Indiana, more commonly known as 808 Southeast 3rd Street. Ordinance R 2023-15, an ordinance to rezone certain real estate in the State of Indiana, more commonly known as 618 North Burkhardt Road. Ordinance R 2023-16, an ordinance to rezone certain real estate in the City of Evansville, State of Indiana, more commonly known as south of Vogel Road, approximately 5801 Vogel Road.
Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda as written?
So moved.
Second. Okay, having a first from Councilman Burton, a second from Councilman Weaver. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So ordered.
Committee reports. There are no committee reports for today. Regular agenda, second reading of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance G 2023-07, an ordinance to vacate a public right-of-way in Evansville, Indiana, that part of Hardegg Avenue adjacent to Lot 30 and replat of Lots 60 through 87, inclusive in Shawnee Heights, in addition to the City of Evansville as per plat thereof, recorded in Plat Book I, page 97, in the Office of Recorder of Vanderburgh County, Indiana.
Jim Brinkmeyer, Public Works Chair. I'm not sure that Don Grease was going to be able to make it. I did talk to him on the phone. Is Don here? He indicated he might not. He gave me a rundown on his vacation. It is basically what would have been an alley if it had been made into an alley, but it was never made into an alley. And all it is they use it as their yards. And so the neighbor that wants the property vacated wants to put a larger structure on the backside of his property, so wants a little extra space to put that structure. So that's what we're talking about. We had one of these up near the hilltop where ever used as an alley. It never has been an alley, but it could be. So that's why, let's see, Don through Easley is asking on behalf, I think, Mr. Kempf to vacate this property.
Mr. Chairman, so it's not paved, it's just
No.
grass and it's
all-
yards
It's
and...
it's grass, from what I was told, and
Okay.
people take care of it just like it's a part of their own yard.
So it's not blocking anybody's access, they're not using it
No,
for
and
that?
they've contacted all the correct people, utilities, and various groups, and everything's fine in that way.
Checked all the boxes. All right, thank you.
Do we have any neighbors here?
Yeah, that's what we're going to find out next. Does anybody on council have a question or anything? That's, okay. Any neighbors here that want to discuss, have any? Come on up, sir. You could come on up and state your name and address and just tell us what you're thinking.
My name is Billy Walden at 1601 Reichman Avenue. I'm right at that intersection. And I had a question about, like, currently, well, I've lived there since 1976. And currently, the trash pickup and recycle pickup, pretty large truck, turns around at that intersection and uses 20, 25 feet of this part of Harding Avenue. And I'm a little curious about if the trash pickup would utilize the Mr. Kemp's, driveway, and what would happen in the future.
I guess that's where we need Mr. Easley here, because I'm not sure about the answer to that question.
I would suggest that we hold it off to the next meeting so Mr. Easley can be here, because he may have a simple answer for you, or it may potentially be a concern, and we want to be sure we have that information before we make it, or at least I do before I make that decision. So I'd make a motion, we put this off to the next meeting, which is June. May 22nd.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Bean and a second by Councilwoman Angela Kaler-Lindsay to go ahead and move this to our next meeting so that Mr. Grease can be here to answer this man's questions. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll hear this next time we meet. What's the date on that?
May 22nd.
May 22nd? May 22nd. Sorry to bring you down here more than once, but
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you for your concern.
Resolution C, 2023-06, a resolution approving an interlocal agreement between the City of Evansville and Vanderburgh County regarding the distribution of funds received from the 2022 Local Burn Justice Grant Program Award.
Is there a motion to adopt Resolution C 2023-06?
Second.
Having a first from Councilwoman Mosby and a second from Councilman Bean. Floor is now open for discussion of this item, and we have Marco here to tell us all about it, right?
Yes, sir. Marco DeLucio from the City Attorney's Office. You may recall that every year, in fact, in February this year, we were before you for the distribution of the burn grant. We seek a resolution from this board tonight, from the commission tonight, City Council tonight, to enter into this interlocal agreement with the county. There was approximately $89,000 available in the grant. And out of that grant, the city and the county have agreed to split that, and these are rough numbers, approximately $30,000, $29,000 for the county and approximately $60,000 for the police department. Both the sheriff's department and the police department will use those funds to purchase radios, purchase portable radios that will be used, in order to keep in communication during periods of emergency or just at any time. So this is very similar to what was approved back in February. The county commissioners have already approved by resolution the agreement, and we seek your approval this evening. We have a representative from the police department here tonight if there's any questions you might have, in particular about the radios.
Any comments, questions from council on this matter? Okay. Seems like a no-brainer, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Any comments or questions from the public regarding this matter before council? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Trockman,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mosby,
Aye.
Councilman Burton,
Aye.
Councilwoman Kaler Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Brinkmeyer,
Aye.
Councilman Bean,
Aye.
Councilwoman Moore,
Aye.
Councilman Weaver,
Aye.
Councilman Hieronymus.
Aye. There being 9 ayes and 0 nays, Resolution C 2023-06 is hereby declared adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Resolution C 2023-07, a preliminary resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville declaring an economic revitalization area for property tax phase-in for the rehabilitation of real property at 1501 West Franklin Street, Evansville, Indiana 47710, Franklin Street Lofts LLC, and Heritage Petroleum LLC.
Is there a motion to adopt Resolution C 2023-07?
So moved.
Okay, having a first from Councilman Bean, a second from Councilman Brinkmeyer. Floor is now open for discussion of this item among council. Fellow councilors, Jenna Rickard with EREP had emailed Laura and myself and potentially some other counselors to make us aware that she wouldn't be here. She's got a sick child and she is sick as well. So this and a couple other resolutions that we're working on, one I think will be tabled until another meeting, I believe the May 22nd meeting as well. But these right here are good to go. I know that we have preliminarily voted on these resolutions for the tax phase-ins. And I think Resolution C 2023-07 as well as 08 are effectively, two resolutions of the same kind of project, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were passed in December, I'm sorry, I don't know the exact month. They were passed at the end of last year, and there's just a couple of typos, and they're just doing some corrections to the tax abatement that was already approved by you guys last year.
Right.
And from the message, nothing in the phase-in is changing, just clerical cleanup, so to speak, on why we're seeing it again.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. President, a question on C 2023-07. It does state here that it's a preliminary resolution. Is
The
that,
second one that you'll see that you're gonna vote next is a confirming resolution, so they just had to clean up both of them.
all right, gotcha. I was thinking back to when I did these before, that,
Yeah.
okay. So these are related, and it's from that time. Nothing's changed. All right, I'm good with that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we'll just move through these. If there are no other questions or comments from council regarding these projects, okay? Any comments or questions from the public regarding C 2023-07? Okay,
Okay, so 7 and 8 are being pushed off to the next meeting?
No, there's 3 that were filed for
Right,
tonight.
right.
2 of them you're voting on tonight, which is 7 and 8.
Right.
And then the next one, there needs to be another amendment added, so there needs to be another correction. So the one that needs to be corrected again is just gonna be held until May 22nd.
All right,
And for this Heritage Petroleum one, it was the parcel ID, there was a clerical error on the number for the parcel ID, and I think even maybe a clerical error on the company name, but the dollar amounts, the length of time of the abatement, all that stuff isn't changing.
right.
Yeah, it says right here, the property owner's name has been added to the resolution, the parcel number was corrected on the abatement schedule, and the expiration date of the economic revitalization area was corrected.
All right. Any comments, questions from the public? Okay, hearing none from council as well. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Trockman,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mosby,
Aye.
Councilman Burton,
Aye.
Councilwoman Kaler Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Brinkmeyer,
Aye.
Councilman Bean,
aye.
Councilwoman Moore,
Aye.
Councilman Weaver,
Aye.
Councilman Hieronymus.
Aye. There being 9 ayes, 0 nays, Resolution C 2023-07 is hereby declared adopted.
Resolution C, 2023-08, a confirming resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville declaring an economic revitalization area for property tax phase-in for the rehabilitation of real property at 1501 West Franklin Street, Evansville, Indiana, 47710, Franklin Street Lofts, Heritage Petroleum LLC.
Is there a motion to adopt Resolution C 2023-08?
So moved.
Okay. Having a first from Councilman Bean and a second from Councilman Brinkmeyer. Floor is now open for discussion. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Questions, comments from the public regarding this resolution? All right, hearing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Trockman,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mosby,
Aye.
Councilman Burton,
Aye.
Councilwoman Kaler Lindsay,
Aye.
Councilman Brinkmeyer,
Aye.
Councilman Bean,
Aye.
Councilwoman Moore,
Aye.
Councilman Weaver,
Aye.
Councilman Hieronymus.
Aye. There being 9 ayes and 0 nays, Resolution C 2023-08 is hereby declared adopted.
Resolution C, 2023-09, a preliminary resolution of the Common Council of the City of Evansville declaring an economic revitalization area for property tax phase-in for the rehabilitation of real property and installation of new equipment at 5401 Highway 41 North, Evansville, Ultimate Plastics LLC.
Is there a motion to table Resolution C 2023-09 until May 22nd, 2023?
So moved.
Second.
Having a first from Councilwoman Kaler Lindsay and a second from Councilman Bean. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, so ordered.
Miscellaneous business.
The next meeting of the Common Council will be Monday, May 22nd, 2023 at 5:30 PM. Are there any additional comments from members of council this evening?
Mr. President, I do have a couple. On May 17th, the Community Development Financial Institution, EVV region, will be making the announcement and/or kickoff here in the community. Basically what that is we're leveraging, the community is leveraging about $250 billion nationwide to then bring in these institutions to work in partnership with our banks to target neighborhoods and communities around the city of Evansville that need some economic opportunities. And so the kickoff for this initiative, it's a collaboration between EREP. We allocated $250,000 to it, I think $100,000 to it, to basically come in to improve the neighborhood. And so on May 17th at UE at iCamp Hall, at 9 a.m., more information will be forthcoming in that regard. So I wanted to invite you all to that, and then I will be sending you all an email as it relates to two ordinances drafted, one of which basically keeps the land bank properties to be housing, and then the second basically drawing a boundary around Promised Neighborhood Grant, in an effort to do that to reduce the amount of gas stations being developed and or implemented, reducing the amount of liquor stores that are able to go on those properties and to reduce and to basically refrain from storage units going up as well. So I'll send you all more information on that, but I did want to make you all aware.
Any other comments? Additional comments from council? Okay, all right. We'll move to comments from the audience, and we've got one in right now. Thomas Stratton. And as a reminder, you have 3 minutes, and if you can state your name and your address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Thomas Stratton. My address is 513 Runnymede Avenue in Evansville. What I'm sharing with you tonight is an image of one of the latest installations adorning downtown Evansville. You'll notice that someone in this city decided to emplace metal devices, ostensibly mini tables or perhaps laptop trays in the middle of every recently refurbished wooden bench. Now, I've spent nights in airports and bus terminals, and I know this look. Or, as our 11-year-old observed right off on seeing this photo and addressing the designers, look at you, trying to be slick. No, I see you. I do not know more than a 5th grader, but I know this. The clear message for those in the downtown area experiencing homelessness: this is not your space. Don't come here with your weariness and your belongings in a bag or a cart and your otherness and expect welcome or rest. Let's assume these installations are not funded by a charity, but come out of taxpayer pockets, to the tune, as it turns out, of some multiple thousands of dollars. Now, contrast that expenditure with the surreal account of how the city is going money grubbing after a local beloved business owner for supporting someone experiencing homelessness on the business owner's property. The owner of the Slice, a go-to spot for many in the university neighborhood for years, now faces, get this, tens of thousands of dollars in fines for not complying with whatever local ordinances have been invoked regarding structures and blah, blah, blah. This scene is almost Kafkaesque in the banal, lazy authoritarianism on display. This city, which welcomed the Oath Keepers, now recognized as domestic terrorists to protect downtown Evansville. This community, which can build a multi-million-dollar jail expansion but cannot fully fund a diversion program at UCS for a fraction of the jail's cost. This city, which paid crisis cops to gun down a man asking for help during a mental health crisis. This city would do what? Use the vindictive fines exacted for a man's empathy and action to fund these anti-sleeping devices, these graven images of our fear, our discomfort, and our pettiness. That would be some real neat accounting work. This is one twisted pay it forward. Bravo, EVV. If I had an ounce of courage, the tiniest bit of know-how, and the tools, be it a wrench, a hacksaw, a blowtorch, or a sledgehammer, I would smash these graven images and beat these metal barriers into plowshares and pruning hooks for our urban gardens. But I know Evansville's finest would take issue. I know Evansville's finery would take issue. We can be so small-hearted, so hard like iron-hearted in how we create public spaces. This art installation, perhaps, is an elegant testimony to the worst of our collective instincts. I know that there are several on this council who pour their heart, soul, intellect, and time into creating a more just and belonging community. Your work is known and valued, but we are past the point for just some in the village to be doing the work. Do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stratton. Thanks. Okay, we didn't have any other submitted report or questions. Thank you. I will get that to Ben. Committee reports. There will be an ASD committee meeting on Thursday, May 18th at 9:30 a.m. in room 301 to discuss Ordinance G 2023-06 and ordinance amending Chapter 3.35 Housing Funds of the Evansville Municipal Code. Hearing no more comments or questions from council, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, having a first from Councilwoman Mosby, second from Councilwoman Kaler Lindsay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned at 5:55 p.m.